Yo, hello ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it for the weekly markup. I know my hair's all messed up. Just came back from the 6 mile run, but I wanted to, before I get into the weekly markup, I wanted to go over the trade that I'm currently in, which is the USDCAD longs. This was the entry that I was supposed to get in and I missed out on. If you can see on the 15-minute, we had already a bullish engulfing candle, and then price come back, test this previous impulse within the range, shot a halt. Price came back, tested it perfectly, gave us a perfect entry. This would have been target number one. Price smacked that target number one and never came back to entry. So this trade would have been correct, right? And then price hit your full target and you would have still been floating. And then I took the trade pretty late after seeing this higher low and seeing that this had already been tested. And then I took it. This was a Friday trade, the last trade of the week, and I secured at 49 pips. But the thing is, you can see right here, USDJPY. We've been trading gold. I could go over that right now, which gold has been moving. USDJPY. The thing is that I didn't set a stop loss, which is kind of good in a way, because prices, I don't want price to come back down, but then we're also in profit above 49 pips. So as soon as price opens, I'm gonna set my stop loss here at break even and continue to hold. I'm still seeing price hit all the way to 137, 300, clearing all of these sellers. But obviously some target would be right here where I have my, which was actually almost there, USDCAD. This is where I should have really secured, not here. But then again, the market was about to close and I secured something. I secured 49 pips, right, which is this right here. USDCAD and secured right there. And then the last couple of wins were gold. Actually, you can see right here, profit was all gold, and then gold over here was profit. And then this sell, that was a buy entry opening for USDCAD, and then I closed because the buy entry was still not ready. See, I've been trying to buy USDCAD, but it had not fully set up with this break of structure and higher lows until Friday. So you're gonna take a couple hours, right? Even though you know that the bias is right, price still has to set up, and then obviously it did set up. And then those gold trades, man, I'm telling you, those gold trades, I'm kind of mad because I didn't hold my gold trades. You can see gold has been moving crazy, and we had an entry somewhere right here. Let me see if I can find it. So gold sell at 55.07. That was somewhere right here, 55.07. So I had a really 55.08. So I had a really good entry right here. Look at this. I could have already still been up right now, 5,000 pips. That's 59,000 points. But you remove a number and it's 59,000. It's 5,000 pips. And then we have some clear buys as well, and that as well I only secured 92 pips, which for gold is like, you have to hold your trades. 92 pips, bro. That's, was it like very little? That's almost like right there. Look at the full push that it did. But it's because when you're seeing the numbers on your account and you're seeing price fly, you're like, fuck, if I go into drawdown, I'm not even gonna be able to hold it. So I just closed, and plus 92 pips is 92 pips. The thing is, I should have secured some and let the rest run risk free. Same thing over here with the shorts. You're always supposed to do that in every trade. You secure your main target, but you leave something running always, because obviously things like this happen. So now after all of this, we haven't gone all of this, I do see price reversing back to the upside as well, where this is all creating liquidity for price to be maybe bullish, come test this zone right here, create a higher low and continue, maybe something similar to USDCAD. But right now we're still bearish. So now officially, let's get into the weekly markup. Let's start it up with GJ on the monthly. So where's it at? All right, here's it at. So the monthly, you could pause it and read it. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, trading bearish, each one bearish. You can already see on the monthly, overall fully bullish trend, bullish engulfing candle and higher lows above 185. And then we'll look at that, we have two bullish engulfing candles above 205, which is also a previous area of supply, demand, supply right there, and then it turned into demand again over here. So now we hop into the weekly. On the weekly, we're still overall bullish. We're feigning to break above 14,500, which I think I wrote it down. Let me put it down over here. So 214,500, there it is. Price failed to break over 214,500. And now we're kind of respecting the support. We hop into the daily. You can see the support being respected. We have a daily double top here, and then on the daily it's bullish, turning bearish because of that. If we were really bullish, price would have continued breaking highs here, and it didn't, right? So now what are we doing? We're holding the support. Now what I would like to see, we hop into the 4 hour, I would like to see the price continue to the double top and maybe get a trade off here, either sells back down or buys above here and continue. Maybe we could break below, create a lower high, and continue to the downside to 205. But it's more than likely that we're going to continue and break the support and continue melting. Also, another thing that could happen though is maybe we could just come clear the support and then continue back to the upside and just fake out, because sometimes price does that, which is annoying. So you have to wait for the bearish engulfing candle to the lower high, or else it would just fake you out. Now let's get into UJ. You can pause it and read it. Monthly bullish turning bearish, weekly bearish, daily bearish, H4H1 bearish turning bullish. Then UJ as well. Very similar price action to GJ, right? On the monthly, we're overall bullish engulfing candle and higher lows above 14500. Then we have a huge monthly bullish engulfing candle above 151, and then look at price respecting the previous area of supply at 158,500. And look at that, we had an instant meltdown, instant respect of the supply. Then we hop into the weekly. You can see on the weekly, previous area of supply 158,500, and we rejected and respecting it perfectly. Take a quick little sip of the coffee. Now I do see price coming back down to 151, something like this. Maybe at 151 we could have a potential rebound, a potential bounce back to the upside, or we could have a potential break and retest below to come to the next key level at 14500, something like that. So actually let me set an alert at 151, because 151 is a really strong key level, and is the next key level that it looks like we're going to test. So now we hop into the daily. And so the daily, you could already see we're already bearish. Why are we bearish? Look at this huge bearish engulfing candle here. And then we came back to test previous highs and failed to even close above 158,500. You can see the rejection below, and then boom, huge bearish engulfing candle below 158,500 and below the previous area of supply and demand. So we broke structure and we bearish engulfed. And now we had structure over here, double top, double bottom, my mistake. We bearish engulfed it below and created a lower high on the lower time frames, and bearish engulfed on the daily. And now this is actually a nice zone to watch out for, because we could either actually have it down, I think, on the 4 hour. Oh no, I don't. On the 4 hour, we're already turning bullish, bearish turning bullish. We're not yet fully bullish until we could actually see some higher lows above this previous area of supply and demand, and then we could actually be looking for, we could actually have somewhere of a stop loss here and targets over here. That would be a good risk to reward area, but we wouldn't have to need to see the bullish engulfing candle and the higher low still above this previous area of supply and demand. You can see supply below, demand above, because it could either do that, or it could also fake out and right here turn this previous area into supply again and continue back down. So we have to watch out on Sunday open for this. Even though we are turning bullish, we're not fully bullish yet, because overall we're bearish now on the weekly, on the daily, and then on the monthly we're bullish, but we are turning bearish. So now let's get into NZDCAD. You can pause it and read it. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, H4 H1 bullish range, and then GBPUSD. I should have actually done GBPUSD first. So start on the monthly. You always start from the monthly into your lower time frames, even if you're a scalper, right? Because you still want to know the overall direction. So on the monthly, we were bearish. Why were we bearish? Because we were creating lower highs and we were creating lower lows. But now look at this. The price failed to keep on breaking lower lows here. What did it, what below 0.78,500? So what did it do? It created a double bottom. What does a double bottom signify? It signifies that price no longer wants to sell. So what did it do? If it no longer wants to sell, it bought. Now look, this is the monthly as well again. So this monthly looks like it's gonna bullish engulf close. I mean, we're gonna get the close on today later on. So we're gonna, if this candle get close like this with the monthly bullish engulfing candle, then we are flipping bullish. And I already have a bullish and the weekly bullish, daily bullish. It's fully bullish already. On the weekly, look at this. Weekly double top here, and then we have a weekly higher low, and then we have a bullish engulfing candle already on the weekly above 0.80. So now what is this telling me? The price is on its way to 0.83, which is the previous area of previous supply. We have demand here, supply. All right, so what are we gonna come and do? We're gonna come and test this previous area of supply at 0.83, and then here it's very simple as, what are we gonna do? We're gonna either test it and respect it, come back down, or we're gonna break above it, test it, and go back up. That's all it is. It's as simple as you can get it. That's why key levels and high time frames matter, because I know that price is gonna buy up to this zone, and then at this zone I gotta watch out for it, this zone, because we could either have continue back down, or we could break above the zone and continue to the upside. You can only buy or sell. That's it. This is why key levels are very, very important. And that's one thing that Lambo Raul taught me. There's one of the guys that taught me about key levels, right? And also Sean Lee, shout out Sean Lee. Key levels are very, very important, even if you're a scalper. It doesn't matter if you're a scalper. Key levels are very important, and well, price action, right? So huge bullish engulfing candle, break of previous area of supply. So even this zone right here as well, this is already signaling the buy, because once we test the previous area of supply, what are we gonna do? We're either gonna respect it and continue back down, or we're gonna break above it and continue back up. So the same thing if I went 0.83, literally happened here. Previous area of supply. The market is a fractal. If you don't know what fractals are, the thing that happens in the very, very small, look like this right here. It's a fractal, right? It's like the universe. It's a spiral. If you've ever seen it happens in the small, it continues to happen in the big, and it looks very, very similar. And you wouldn't even understand if you're looking at the small or you're looking at the big, because it's looking exactly the same. And that's almost what a fractal is. I suck at explaining it, but if you search it up, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Let's hop into the daily. Into the daily, you can see previous area of supply, bullish engulfing candle. We have a higher low above it, turn into a new demand. That's all it is. And now what price actually looking like? It's looking like we're gonna come and retest it. So we might come and retest it, do something like this, or we might break below, create a lower high below it, and continue back down to 0.80, which is very possible as well. And that would actually be looking like really good sales. And on the 4 hour, oh look, on the 4 hour I already had it. Let me delete this. On the 4 hour, bullish engulfing candle, higher low, bullish and bullish range. Well, we are ranging above here. See, on the 1 hour, a little bit better. We're ranging, right? So what does price signify? That it does not know where to go, even though we are bullish. And the longer the range, the bigger the push off either side when price decides to stop ranging. But I would like for price to come to this previous area of supply. Previous area of supply, maybe once again, and then we could have the possible trade off of it, either the bounce and continue, or the break below and the rejection back down. That's it. We just have to simplify the trading and avoid trading within these zones, but wait for price to get to these zones right here, the important zones. Right now, last but not least, let's get into GBPUSD. And actually GBPUSD was the only one that I didn't do in my job. This one I actually did it today. So pause it, you can pause it and read it. Monthly bullish, weekly bullish, daily bullish, turning bearish, H4, H1 bearish. So let's get it. You always start from the monthly. Top down analysis, that's what a top down analysis is. From the monthly, you could already see currently we're overall bullish. Why? Because we're obviously creating higher lows. And look at this, we're creating also higher highs. Higher high, higher high. We're breaking structure. previous area supply, bullish engulfing candle, previous area supply, bullish engulfing candle, and then we have a higher low above previous area of supply. Previous area of supply turning into new demand. You can see the market is literally a fractal, and right now we're testing below 137,500, which happens to be previous area of supply as well. So what are we going to do? Are we going to respect that supply and come back down, or we're going to break above and continue all the way to 142, which is also the next strong area of supply and demand? You can see supply, 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 a little bit of demand right there, demand right there, demand right there. Look at that. Look at the rejection, and then look at where the candle closes above. That's how you could tell it's a really nice key level. And you could write all of these key levels down, because I mean, the market is for all of us. We're here. The market is abundant. There's literally trillions of dollars moving in here. There's enough for everyone, more than enough. So on the weekly, let's hop into the weekly. Monthly was bullish, weekly overall bullish. We're having some kind of struggle breaking above here, which is 137,400, which I mean we could see why, because it has been a previous area of supply. Look over here, we failed to break above it, and we continue back down to 131. But then at 131 we failed to keep on breaking lows, because it also has been a previous area of supply, and it got respected as demand. We have a bullish engulfing candle here back above 132, and we have another bullish engulfing candle here above 134, which has also been a previous area of supply. Really strong supply as well. And look at this, previous area of strong supply gave us this drop of 1,000 pips, and over here the new demand gave us 200 pips, and before it had given us 300 pips, right? So we could see that for every retest of 134, it like sells way more. And we even just scratch it all the way over here, and you can see, boom, retest below 134. Previous, we broke structure, created a lower high below structure, and then melted. And this just happens to be right below 134. Look at that. So it likes to sell below 134 more than it likes to buy. So now we have to watch out for price, what it does at 137,500. You can see into the daily, we're bullish, we're turning bearish. Why are we turning bearish? Because here, if we were really bullish, price should have done a higher low here and continued, because it has previously been a previous area of supply. So it should have turned into demand here. And if it didn't turn into demand, guess what? That means that buyers are no longer in control. Sellers are in control. Look at what just happened. Bearish engulfing candle. No, not yet, but I'm willing to bet that this is going to close with the bearish engulfing candle, and it already broke structure. So what most likely we're going to see probably a lower high and continue back down. That is very probable, right? You still want to see a lower high below, because price can literally fake you out and come back up and continue to the upside. It has done that multiple times to me, and I've learned my lesson that it's just better to wait for the candle closes. And then we hop into the 4 hour. To the 4 hour, you could already see the lower high and the bearish engulfing candle. So technically on the 4 hour, you could have already been on a trade, something like this. And this actually makes sense because USDCAD and GBPUSD, they most of the time negatively correlate. Like I said, most of the time, not all of the time. And right now, since I'm in USDCAD buys, it would have made sense to also get into GBPUSD sells, doubled up on the profit. And it looks like it's still got a big chunk of melting, right? So maybe we could get an extra retest, an extra lower high. That could be a potential entry. Now back to work. Peace and love. I command you health, wealth, knowledge, wisdom for you and your entire family. Back to work.